All right, man. We back with the world famous Andrew Ivins. Get caught up with him. Listen, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying that on my morning show, they were saying that we don't even consider IMG a Florida school, right? And I was like, well, listen, you can always use them in argument when people talking about who state has the best football. Well, at the end of the day, we do have IMG. IMG Academy, I don't think people, unless you've been up there, like we've been up there, we saw the facilities. Unless you've seen it in person and you know what it is, you're oblivious to what's going on up there. Talking about IMG, you went up there this spring. I didn't make it up there. You been up there?
Yeah. First, that's a good way to put it. I'm immune to it now. Like
right.
I'm like, all right, like it's just IMG, but like, so when you drive in, they've built a hotel. Like they have their own hotel right there, which I think is where they house teams that they pay to come play. But every time I'm there, it's something different.
Yeah.
The WNBA like played a full season there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had their on bubble.
It surely did.
I remember, God, so this was 5 years ago, right before the Summer Olympics. They're taking me through the football building. I open the back door. The entire Australian track teams there. I'm like, because they're getting ready to go to Brazil. I was like, what is going on? So there's always something, and it's only gotten bigger.
And there's still a lot of land out there.
Yeah. Oh.
There's more land. They can build whatever they want to build.
And then so they let us in for their first day of spring practices. Me and a few of my guys at 24/7 Sports. And speaking of that, it's Monday morning, 9 a.m. I look across the field. There's just people playing soccer everywhere. I'm like, it's like Monday in March. I'm like, there's that in a holiday weekend.
Right.
There's just it must have been 20 soccer games going on. So it's quite the facility.
It is, and I don't think people understand what level we're talking about. Because if it's Monday morning, they're playing soccer. Those aren't high school kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So give me some names at IMG, because American Heritage just announced that they will play IMG again, and I reached out to Pat and I said, no, Pat, y'all beat them. We can hang our hat on that forever. Y'all was the last team to beat them from down here. And he gave us his sentiments. Talk to us about IMG in that game.
Who they got?
Yeah.
It's an influx of transfers every year.
Yeah.
We went out there. First guy was eye catcher. I wrote something about it. It's this kid Jihaad Campbell. It's kind of like a tweener type, I would say. Is he a linebacker? Is he true defensive end? He's 6'3", 215 pounds. We knew he had tested really well. We had him as a 3-star at the time. So remember I go about we're trying to gather information.
Right.
And I was like, this kid's a freak.
Yeah.
So he's one, and then I watched their spring game. He was awesome. They got the quarterback is committed to Florida State. He's a kid from California. Missed out on his junior season because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
AJ Duffy, that's another, I guess, household name. Lining up next to him in the backfield, Katron Allen, probably one of the top running backs nationally. And
Allen's been there a while.
Yeah, it's a down year, I think. He's an interesting. You look at him, you're like, is this guy a dude? And then you put on the pads, he's good. And then I think their 2023 class is insane. And I don't know if they my theory. We ranked kids really early. I think they just went down, used our 2023 rankings as a shopping list, and they just kind of all right, we want this kid. Because at one point we had looked and all these kids had transferred in, and we had them all ranked high. So either they agree with our evaluations or whatnot. But they got a kid out of Chicago, Carnell Tate. He's a wide receiver, 2023 kid. I think he's going to be their wide receiver one. Remember they lost Ja'Cory Brooks. He's good defensively. They got a bunch of defensive backs back there. The seniors are Dalen Everett and Kamari Wilson. Most Miami fans know Kamari Wilson. Yeah. But they got some other young guys.
Yeah, Kamari Wilson. That's what I was talking about. You were talking about Kamari Rogers.
Yeah, Kamari Wilson. Yeah.
How do you get an IMG? Do you know?
I think they just.
Do they come they put a tag on your door or something? How does it happen? Do they
Well, I know they have a director and player. I think they reach out and it makes sense. I have my theories on whether it's good or bad.
Talk to me. What do you mean? What do you mean good or bad?
Because you see kids will go there as juniors or sophomores, but they won't finish out their careers there.
Yeah, I've seen it happen a few times.
It's not fun. I mean, well, let me rephrase that. You know, it's like, it's not a normal high school experience.
No, it's your first introduction into probably college.
Yeah.
And the field of college. And yeah, this is business over here.
Right.
Right.
So I think some kids love it, and I think others get there and they're like, yeah, this ain't fun.
Right. So yeah, because a lot of people don't know. I heard that they couldn't recruit. Like I heard that you had to contact them. Like I heard you had to show interest. Fill out an application first. That's what I've heard. But I also heard when they after you, it happens in 2 days.
You remember
like it happens in you're gone.
You talked about that experience of the first time you go to IMG, right? Mm-hmm. How many big 7-on-7 tournaments, how many big events are at IMG?
Yeah, a lot of them.
That's essentially just a recruiting visit.
Yeah.
Because if you're good, you're going to see it. You're going to be like, whoa, you know, mom and dad are going to go, hey, this is going to get my son ready. I mean, I think that starts the conversation.
That year that Northwestern brought them down here and IMG AD wasn't happy about how it happened. And Northwestern, I thought, just felt maybe, hey, we can get them down here. Maybe we could beat them.
Traz, right?
Yeah, at Traz. Maybe we can beat them. I just didn't think Northwestern they didn't realize that the city wasn't going to come out to watch them play IMG because that's not how they gauge games. They gauge it off of rivalries and who's going to be cool and that, yeah. But you bring IMG down here and then they pull up in those 2 buses. And it's like, I don't know if that was a good idea. Like, they pull up in those 2 buses and you can see like how they're traveling and it's like, man, that's marketing right there. Yeah. It's a machine, and I would love to see where it's going to be at in 5 years or 10 years. Because if you say IMG on your phone, all of a sudden Facebook is marketing. They're marketing to you right there. And I understand marketing. I see what they're doing, and people need to. They need to wake up.
Well, you know, they got the national team, and then they got the team that plays the Florida schedule.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to keep putting guys in the NFL, but I mean, they have to be making money off people that are paying for that other team. So I guess it works. I mean, I don't know. We
have 2 teams, right?
2 teams.
All right. So before we get out of here, man, here in South Florida, offensively, Miami just took a kid from Gainesville, 3-star wide receiver. Is the South Florida area kind of down on recruiting when it comes to skilled players?
Yeah, it's dry.
Really?
It's I think it's the driest I've seen it. And you talk with college coaches that recruit the area, and they'll kind of agree with you. I mean, there's not a ton of wide receivers. There's not a ton of running backs. There's not a ton of tight ends. It seems to be down. And look, like think of it like this. I mean, Alabama essentially pretty much every year for the past 5 years has come and got whatever wide receiver they want.
That just makes me throw up.
Yeah, but
they really do.
Who do they want this year from down here? Like there isn't anyone. So
who is it? Nobody, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there is no.
I didn't think about that.
There is no big skill player. So I think, you know, Miami, they had to branch out, and that's how they found Quan Lee, the kid from Gainesville. You know, some other guys they like, Jaden Gibson up in Orlando outside in the Winter Garden area. But yeah, it's different. I think that's also one of the reasons why they took Cody Brown, the running back
from Georgia.
Yeah, late last year, the Tennessee signee. I think they kind of saw and they're like, hey, this is, you know, we're not going to get what we want. Let's just take this kid and he'll essentially be our 2022 running back. Mm-hmm. The good news is, I think 2023 wide receiver, that group will be as good as ever.
Who that's Ennis and
obviously it's Brandon Ennis.
And then you got
Santana
both
Fleming.
at American Heritage. Yeah.
Jalen Brown, who's the fastest sophomore.
Right.
You got Nathaniel Joseph, Will Fowles. And then I'll tell you about a kid, Edwin Joseph at Chaminade Edwin. We saw him firsthand. I was at their inter squad on Tuesday. Yeah. He was awesome. He looked good out there? He's got some good testing numbers. And I was talking to a college coach. They're like, all right, like, who are the receivers? And I'm like, I think he's the one that no one's talking about. And there's another kid
nobody's talking about him, but we saw it firsthand. Yeah, we saw him.
He's like under the radar. And then the kid at Aquinas, Isaiah Harge.
Yeah, somebody sent me a video of him last night. Went crazy in their game the other day.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
His, I mean, you know, you always got to take things with a grain of salt. But the staff there is like, yo, this kid's like Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's going to be plenty of
He's
options.
23?
He's a 23.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
No, yes.
And I'm probably, you know, you got the Dandridge kid down at Homestead, David Jester. I mean, it is.
Right. So it'll bounce back.
Yeah, and I think Miami, and I Miami, I know for a fact, they're going, hey, we just took a bunch of receivers in 21. We know 2023 is really good. Are we going to get all of them? Probably not, but we can get some. So we can be, you know, they're only probably going to take 2 or 3 this year.
When a kid like Santana come up here and say and talks to Manny and talks directly to Manny, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Do you think that's good or you think it's bad? How do you feel about that? Because it was his idea. The night before he said, man, tell Manny. And I said, you come tell him. I mean, if you could talk to God every night, you could talk to Manny. Like, and he came and did it, right? And he got an offer from it. I don't want it to be a thing. Everybody wants to come up here and talk to me. But how do you feel about that? Because you're directly in the recruiting game.
I mean, I think you got to be confident. Right. You know, you got to sell yourself, man.
Right.
I mean, maybe this isn't a point to this, but we always talk about, everyone wants to talk about name, image, and likeness, right?
Right.
I try to tell recruits this, man, like, all right, you talking to me, this is your first introduction to name, image, and likeness. Because if you want to sell that name, image, and likeness when you get to college, you're going to have to do media because no one will know who you are. Right? So, you know, I think Santana's on that path.
He's on that path, and he gets it. I don't know where he got it from, but he gets it. I made a whole video about that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't like to talk to media, and they say they don't talk to media, and I don't feel. Listen, bro, you're trying to grow your social media.
Yep.
If you're going to talk to FOOTBALLVILLE and bigger 247 Sports, he's going to put whatever you say on a platform of. I'm sure if you were to tell me your numbers from your things you write, and that's what they don't understand.
What I tell you.
What I would tell you is, man, turn your camera on. Listen, I don't want words. Andrew, get your camera on. Let's talk, and I will be the funniest. I will be the funniest kid in high school, and you. It will help you. It would definitely help him. But they're not. They don't understand that, and I'm trying to get that across to them that you use that platform for your. Don't just look at it like he wants to talk to you because there's going to be another you. We're always going to be here.
Exactly.
It's going to be a you, there's going to be another you, and it's going to keep continuing for us. You need to take advantage of when you get a chance to talk to FOOTBALLVILLE, you get a chance to talk to Andrew Ivins. And that's what you're just saying, right? Like, but they don't, it's not resonating.
Not all of them hit home. Like, dude, I'm calling you, man. I'm just trying to, if you're committing the next day, I'm trying to get a free story. Because guess what? You punch that story, you punch your name in Google that day, you're going to come up on Google search, that AMP. That is growing your brand, man. You know, so.
Man, maybe we need to write a book or something.
I say that all the time.
It's not connecting, though.
Yeah.
It's not connecting. It is not connecting. They look at it as if you need them for something, and it's not connecting that we live in a digital world.
Yeah.
You live on this digital world all day long, and you're not doing anything to help it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's like you're playing a video game and walking past all the coins and all the free guns, and you just playing the game naked. No, definitely. I made videos about that. I talk about that. But man, I appreciate you coming up here. I appreciate. We'll definitely have you back. You're a wealth of knowledge, and you're famous in the space, bro. So. Yeah, so, all right, man. So, that's Andrew. I'm D, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, comment, or whatever you got to do. And we out.
It's gonna take 3 motherfucking days, and that's why